one night.
Purple hat, cheetah print, dancing on the people, rolled up at the after joint, dancing on the people, people dancing on the people. I got people on the people, people dancing on the people, with the people on the people, smoking CO2. See me, see you dancing on the people, climb up on the booth, hanging from the people on the people. My head is the roof, dancing on the ceiling on the people. I got people on the people, dancing on the people. I got purple hat, cheetah print, dancing on the people, rolled up at the after joint, dancing on the people, people dancing on the people. I got people on the people, people dancing on the people, with the people on the people, smoking CO2. See me, see you dancing on the people, climb up on the booth, hanging from the people on the people. My head hits the roof, dancing on the ceiling on the people. I got people on the dancing on the people. I got people, 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 dancing on the people. I got
everybody in the booth can tell myself apart from you. Now the word dancing people, dancing people, dancing people, dancing people.
Cheetah print, dance on the people, happy after joint, dancing on the people, people dancing on the people. I got people on the people, people dancing on the people, with the people on the people, smoking CO2. See me, see you dancing on the people, climb up on the booth, hanging from the people on the people. My head is the roof, dancing on the ceiling on the people. I got people on the people, dancing on the people. I got
Dancing people.
I got people.
people, people.
Dancing me. Everybody in the booth can tell myself apart from you. Now the word dancing people, dancing people, dancing people, dancing people.
What we uncovered is that technology is only new if you remember it the way it was before. Otherwise, that's all you've ever known. And this is a huge statement when it comes to e-commerce. Why is it so important? When we look today, right now, at the intersection of technology, the impact of the pandemic, and e-commerce, we have a generation of young people coming of age right now that will never remember a time before they could do all their shopping through a mobile device. To them, that is all they will have ever known. There is no change for them. Executives tell me all the time, Jason, young people, they represent so much change when it comes to e-commerce. I'm like, no, they don't. When you look at the world through their eyes, that's all they've ever known. Change would mean going to a website that doesn't work well on mobile, or going to a website that doesn't know I've been there before and can't give me the content I want. Or change would mean going to a website and not getting chat, or going on a mobile app and not having chat where I can instantly get my questions answered by a human or by artificial intelligence. So the first behavioral piece I want to leave you with is that the relationship we each have with technology varies by age, it even varies by socioeconomics, and for the first time ever, we are seeing technology trends start from the youngest and ripple up to the oldest. Historically, technology trends, technology adoption, was always driven by those who were older and more affluent, or who had more money, and they drove technology adoption down. Whether that was purchasing televisions, or even fancy radios, calculators, or personal computers. It was always people who had more money and were older driving trends down. But now, for the first time ever, we are seeing technology trends being driven from the youngest, up to the oldest. And as we look around the world, and this is so important for those of you that do business outside of Mexico and around the world, what we're seeing is that the most consistent generation in the world when it comes to e-commerce are the younger generations. As we work all around the world in e-commerce, what we see is those who are under the age of 30 are more similar around the world than those who are older. So that means if we're trying to drive engagement with those who are younger, what works in one country, elements of it will work in other parts of the world. Does it mean it's exactly the same? No, of course not. But it's the most similar. And the older you go around the world, the more varied the experiences are. So first I want to leave you with the idea that the role of technology, our human relationship with technology, which is almost never talked about, is incredibly important to understand if we want to drive innovation. The second is a myth that I want to clear up. You know, you hear lots of people saying this pandemic has driven tremendous acceleration. And that's absolutely true in many respects. We've seen an acceleration of digital payments, digital shopping. We see learning, people using technology for work. All of these things have accelerated, but not everything's accelerated. In many parts of the world, we see things slowing down in the sense people maybe are eating together with their family. Maybe they're learning how to cook. We see trends of people taking up knitting and baking and all kinds of interesting things. So yes, things have accelerated. We've also seen some deceleration, but this is the key. I think the big risk right now is many companies look very good when you look at their numbers because the pandemic has driven people to buy from them. They feel like they have to or they need to. But the big question, and what I believe is a big thing we have to solve for, is how do we turn this into a habit? How do we make people so comfortable that when they can ultimately shop in other ways, they still choose e-commerce? In fact, they still choose you. That to me is the key question. How do we take this as a commercial of what's possible and not take it for granted, but truly see it as a preview of what's possible with e-commerce, and then apply this in such a way that it becomes a strategy and really helps you to drive growth quarter after quarter and year after year. That's what I want to share with you now. I selected 7 things, 7 strategies or actions that I believe you can apply.
One night,